Hey everybody, this week's episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by the Dice Tower, of all things.
Yes, friends, I am not home. As you can tell, this is a much different background because I am coming to you live from Florida at the Dice Tower headquarters and studio. I want to shout out and thank Tom Vassell and the entire crew for welcoming me here for the Autumn Spectacular. We've been playing and live streaming a bunch of games, and they've kindly allowed us to use one of their studios here to broadcast the R&R show. So thanks to Tom. And Rahdo, I am excited to be here again, my friend. Even though I'm in a different state and different time zone, we still managed to make it happen.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought there was no chance. And let me echo what Ruel said. Tom Vassell, thank you very much. Tom, in case you don't know, is actually live streaming right now on their own channel, the yearly or the new soon to be yearly Autumn Spectacular, where they do several days worth of live streams. They invited Ruel out there. So we thought, oh no, are we going to be able to do the R&R show? Ruel very sheepishly walked up to Tom yesterday and said, hey, Tom, would you mind if I could just borrow one of your studio rooms, your your Wi-Fi, and could I actually maybe do a live competing stream for your stream? And Tom said, yeah, sure, you got it, buddy. Is that about it?
That's pretty much it. And actually, I do. Tom was just his generosity is just so remarkable. And again, thank you, Tom, so much for letting us do this. This is great. I was thinking, we tried to do this at Gen Con, but I had technology issues and everything else that was going on at Gen Con. But we were able to do it here during these Autumn Spectacular. Thanks again, Tom. And not only are they letting us use the Wi-Fi in the studio, but I've got a cool mic and a cool camera going here. So if I'm looking a little sharper, I don't know how it looks on everyone else's end, but it's thanks to the Dice Tower. So
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Although, who knows? Maybe this is all an elaborate ploy. They're throttling you, and they're going to cut the feed halfway through. They got you right where they want you.
And so that's the end of the R&R show. Yeah, who knows? But all right. Well, again, thanks to Tom and the crew. And why don't we get the show started, Rahdo? We've got games to give away. Is that
yes,
correct?
we do. We have many games to give away. So let's start out by giving away a copy of Four Gardens, which is so excellent from Arcane Wonders. This one is going to be going out to one lucky winner in America or the United States or Canada. And we've already got the wheel ready to click. Good luck, everybody. Click.
Ooh, I can hear it. All right.
Good luck, everybody. It's playing smoother this week. Interesting.
Cool. Was there fewer contestants?
No, it was a big turnout. Michael S. What's the S stand for? Super winner. Michael S.
Yes.
You will be getting contacted by Arcane Wonders to get a copy of Four Gardens, which again, both Ruel and I recommend. We both think it's a fantastic game. Michelle likes it too.
Love it.
As does Jen.
Jen likes it too. Nice.
Yeah. We all thought it was fantastic. Four Gardens was on my short list for one of the best games of last year because I covered the original Korean Games edition, but then now it's gotten wider release with Arcane Wonders. Alrighty, so I need to stop sharing that because we are not done giving stuff away, folks, because the next winner is for the rest of the world. Somebody is going to win some lovely gamer glass art provided by my wife, Jennifer Ham. You can find her work at jennifer.net or gamerglass.art. These four little Witwat, which are cute little glass alien figurines, are going to be going to somebody just as soon as I share the Ninja Name Picker, because, of course, I can only share one thing at a time. So I need to hit the share button, and I need to stop sharing the old one, and then I need to share a screen, and then I need to go to Chrome, and there is the Ninja Share. All righty. So we are now sharing that. Is that on screen? Are we ready to go? One lucky winner from somewhere will be winning four the cutest little glass pieces you ever saw. Go!
Good luck, everybody.
No sound effects here, so.
Oh, yeah. You make the sound effect. Right.
Hooray! Ashley Rose! Ashley Rose
well done, Ashley.
is the winner. Congratulations, Ashley. These are coming your way. Look at them. They're so cute. They're just adorable little things. I actually went and got them, and I taped them to this card so I could kind of show them off a little bit more. Ashley, this is what's coming your way. They are Jen and I. We love using these little what in the world are those? It's an acronym when we're playing games off camera, because they just work for all kinds of stuff. So
awesome.
We are not done with contest stuff, Ruel, because
we are
time
not.
is always moving forward, and we've got to set up a new one for this week. The game we'll be giving away, provided by Yellow, is Korra: Rise of an Empire. This is an excellent game. I've already done coverage of it on the channel. You could have seen my original run through. And boy, I think at one point I actually had it on my table in one of the early episodes of R&R. Anyway, Yellow has stepped up and is going to be sending this anywhere in the world. It's a new hotness. It is going to be one of the hot games at Essen. If you can't make it to Essen, maybe you'll win a copy of Korra. And well, how do they win?
Good question, friends. To win, you're going to be listening to our episode and watching it, and we are going to say a secret word. And this secret word, we try to get each other, right? We're trying to trap each other and pull one over on the other guy here. And when we reveal the secret word, you will know about it, and then we'll put it on screen, and you'll hear it, and you're going to take that word and put it into an email to contest@rahdo.com. Put in the subject. But we're not telling you a secret word yet. You got to listen and you got to watch, and we will reveal. So far, in the 9 previous episodes, I have a slight edge for getting.
Are you 1 up or 2 up now?
I am 1 up, 5 to 4. We are on episode 10. This is your chance to tie it up, Rahdo. So, folks,
all right,
pay attention.
No pressure on me. All right, so folks, remember, you just got to watch. Hopefully you enjoy the show and you watch it for more than just free stuff. But if you want free stuff, watch. We'll tell you what to do when the moment is right. And yeah, again, I'm very happy to be giving away a copy of Korra. It is a fantastic kind of almost gateway civilization, maybe a gateway plus civilization game. You can watch my run through to see more about it. And yeah, we have got our initial stuff out of the way. And I mean, we can't dilly-dally too long because you're not done. After you're done here, you got to get back on the main camera in the main room and play some more games this afternoon for Dice Tower, right?
Yeah, that's right. So after this, folks, you can find me back over on the Dice Tower YouTube channel. We're going to be live. There's a live stream right now, as Rahdo said, and then I'll be joining them for.
Don't go watch though. Watch us.
Yeah, watch us for now, and then we'll be there. I'll be there in about an hour or so, and we're going to be. I'm playing 2 games. I'm playing Celsia. It's a new game that's coming out, and also we're wrapping things up with the classic Raw from Dr. Reiner Knizia.
I was really surprised by that. So you're going to be in the Raw game?
I am. I am super
Raw
excited
is
about
fantastic. One of the greatest auction games of all time. From one of the greatest game designers of all time. So I doff my cap to Tom for not just like trying to do all Cults of the New stuff, but in classic. Very classy, that Tom Vasel from time to time.
He certainly is. All right. But let's get to the business at hand, my friend.
What are we here to talk about, actually?
We are talking about the top 10 Essen Spiel 2021 games. Now, neither of us is going to Essen, but that doesn't mean we are not excited and not hyped up about all these great games that are coming out. And I forgot, are you taking number 10 or am I taking number 10?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh, dear.
I'll start off.
Honestly, like I said right up front, I didn't think this was going to happen at all. I'll take I'll take the number 1 spot, so you can be number 10.
Yeah, can I take
because I'm very excited about my number 1. Although I'm very excited about everything, quite frankly. I mean, I was up till 2:00 a.m. last night going through the Dice Tower Essen Spiel preview, which if you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube right now, there's a link for that down in the show notes. If you folks want to see, there's, I forget, somewhere between 300 and 400 new games. I found about 70 that I'm excited about, and I had to whittle it down to 5 because Ruel took my other 5 slots. If you would like to know about the other whole bunch, that I'll be doing that later this week in my monthly ramble, which is a Patreon only video I do. If you back me at the $2 a month, you get to watch a monthly ramble where I do all kinds of stuff, like talk about 70 Essen games instead of 5. But by hook or by crook, I did eventually make it. So, Ruel, but before we go, one more thing. So I was stuck with 5. I'm going to cheat and have some honorable mentions. I mean, they're right here because I've got 4 games in my house right now that are debuting at Essen Spiel, and I am trying like crazy to get them all filmed in time for the show. I'm specifically talking about Messina 1347, the latest game from Vladimir Suchi and Delicious Games. Really cool game. Already played it. And the most amazing thing about this, because it's a game about the Black Death, the Great European Plague, and Delicious Games is a little worried about sensitivity issues. A portion of all the proceeds for this are going to Doctors Without Borders. So if people pick this up at Essen, not only are they picking up a fantastic game, the latest from Vladimir Sushi, one of my top 10 game designers of all time, but they're literally making the world a better place. They're fighting the plague in olden days, and they are fighting Corona today. So Messina 1347, I'm very excited about. Tabbanusi, I'm very excited about, from Board and Dice Games. I've actually got this set up on the table in the other room. I'm going to be playing this afternoon with my wife, Jen. This has a very, very cool action selection mechanism. But, Board and Dice, they have been knocking out of the park nonstop. I've been excited about this one forever. Then we've got Bitoku, which, oh my gosh. Well, if you've ever asked yourself, what would it be like if Vita Lasarda teamed up with Studio Ghibli to design a game? That's what this is.
Wow. That's the question that goes through my mind almost daily, but that is so nice to hear.
Finally, although I should say this is designed by Germain Milan, but it's so big and huge from Devere Games, and it's gorgeous. I'll be filming that soon. And then finally, Siege of Runedar, which is from Reiner Knizia, and it's a big, epic tower defense cooperative, heavily thematic game, which is not what Reiner Knizia does at all. And it has really great components. The main box itself is Runedar, the castle you're trying to protect from the waves of bad guys, really outside the box. So, like I said, if all goes to plan, I will have filmed all 4 of those in time for Essen Spiel, which starts Thursday of next week. But anyway, those are just honorable mentions. I didn't really give you much warning. I don't know if you have any honorable mentions, or you're ready to just hit the list.
No. I actually, it's funny. I thought for sure Siege was going to be on your list. It was going to be on my list because the good doctor, right? But that would have been my honorable mention. Yeah.
Every one of these would have. I just showed you 4 of my 5 top picks, quite frankly.
Yep.
But since they're here and I'm going to be covering them anyway over the next few days, I figured, well, let me tell you about some of the other stuff I'm super excited about.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that's how I looked at it too. Like I'm excited about these 5 specific games. So let's jump right into it, folks. This is our 10 top 10 Essen Spiel games of 2021. The first game on mine, I wanted to start with number 10 just because the title of this is 10. So
10.
This is what we have a special guest here. Look, come on in, Tom. Hi. Let me do this here. Folks, we have a special guest.
No, this is a special cameo.
Oh, a special cameo.
Got things to do.
Look, it's Tom Vassal, folks.
You are here for the corner-to-corner reunion.
I assume everything he's saying is good.
It is. So Tom can't hear you because I've got the earbuds.
Oh, of course.
But he's assuming you're saying good things about him, Rahdo.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Tom. I love you, baby.
He says, "I love you, baby." Thanks, Tom. There it is, friends.
Wow, that's exciting.
Is that great?
Proves it. You did not just fake up a recreation of the Dice Tower set.
That's right.
Because we don't have the budget to fly Tom out to us. Tom flies
Tom didn't just fly out to
if
California. We are here in Florida. Yes. So shout out to Tom again. That was funny. I am going to share this screen. This is
yes. Back to 10. What we're here to do today before we were so rudely interrupted by some guy. With a hat,
some random guy.
This so tell me 10. About 10.
I am excited about this. So this is a lighter card game that is published by AEG, and as you know, I've raved about AEG in the past. I'm still raving about them. I feel like every single thing they've been putting out lately is just they knock it out of the park. They a few years ago they made a conscious decision to put out fewer games, and I think it's worked out to their advantage because the games that they do put out are just fully developed. They're wonderful. Anything from Mystic Vale to Space Base, and also we've got 10 now. They're also partnering with Flat Out. They got a bunch of their games such as Cascadia, which is one of my favorite games of the year. 10 is a card-driven game. It's a push your luck game. And it is, if you've played the game Push from Ravensburger, it reminds me of that, where you're simply turning over cards and trying to, in this case, rather than just trying to get high points, you're trying to make sets or runs like 1 through 10. And what you're doing, you flip over a card, you flip another card over, and if the cards ever get to the total above 10, then you've busted, and you'll get some compensation for that. But there's also currency cards. You see those little dots there. They give you currency, which you can buy from the market to get those cards that have not been purchased, and those will help fill in your runs as well. So if I can put like a 1 and a 4, 5, 6. Maybe I want to buy a 2 to slot in there. Now my run's going to get a little longer because you're going to score the run that's the longest consecutive. So 1 through 10. You could have like say a 3 through 7, and that counts. That would be the longest in your set. What I really dig about this, it's the game pushed, like I was saying, but it's got gamer touches to it. Like it's got a little auction element to it. It's got the set collection element. It's got the runs that you have to make. So I feel like it elevates that game push to something that gamers will really appreciate. And hey, I got to play this one time at Gen Con, and it is a hit. It is. So
you are personally vouching for it, then? That is also
I am personally vouching it. Yeah, that's why I put it on my list. I am personally vouching for it.
I don't blame you, because one thing you didn't mention that I think is very important is the design pedigree. This is from the design super trio of Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankiewicz, who knocked it out of the park with Point Salad. I think Truffle Shuffle is fantastic. Dollars to Donuts, Public Market, Verdant. I was recently told I've been pronouncing Verdant wrong my entire life. So yeah, that's a good one. And the chat looks like they agree with you. Vault Hunter Argus agrees. 10 is a fantastic choice. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Vault Hunter Argus, and thank you, friends. Yeah, it's a wonderful game. And as Rahdo said, the team that does Point Salad and all those other things, and Verdant, and I think they're part of that whole Flat Out crew. That awesome games. So that's my number 10 is 10.
All right, well, let's go on to my number 9, or this is our official group number 9, because whatever we choose, the other person has to stick by it. My number 9 is Terra Futura, Futura. And I imagine you will pull that up. I did notice that you normally don't film this on a laptop, do you? Because you're on your laptop right now. So things are a little slow on Ruel's side.
Yeah.
So I was joking earlier about them throttling the feed. I'm sure they're not throttling the feed at all.
Let's get Futura up there. Boom.
Yep. Terra Futura. There you go. Should pull it up in a second.
Looks like 10.
I will talk about it in the meantime. This is, like I said, I was up till 2:00 last night looking at tons of videos of games that are coming, reading rule books of games that are coming, and Terra Futura has not really gotten a lot of attention from folks. It was down near the bottom of the hotness list of the show, but as soon as I saw what it does, I was very interested in it. This is a very simple card tableau building game where by the end of the game, you will have put a grid of 3x3 cards in front of you. The thing is, every time you add a new card to this little grid that is growing, you activate that card and every card in the adjoining row and every card in the adjoining column. And because of that, as the game goes on, you start stringing together bigger and bigger and bigger and combo strings. And I love this kind of thing. The idea of being really trapped in a super tiny, tight little space and trying to get so much out of it. This game actually has a really nice message too, because it is about trying to build a future economy that is green, because a lot of these things can generate pollution, and so you have to also be trying to create an engine that will absorb the pollution and keep everything nice and green. And it's just a really quick little game. Get 9 cards played, and so it kind of has a Glenmore vibe almost, if you were to think about that, where you put a tile down and that activates all the adjacent tiles. Here you put it and you activate the entire row, the entire column. So I imagine the moves get bigger and bigger and bigger as you are running multiple engines simultaneously while trying to deal with pollution and all of that. It seems really, really like a great little idea. The exact kind of thing I find myself loving these days, which is why it makes my number 5 spot. Terra Futura.
Wow. Yeah, this totally flew under my radar. I honestly did not even see it on the list. So
Yep. Like I said, it was way down at the bottom. Yeah. But if I recall correctly, if you go to Board Game Geek, the developers have put up a little how to play video that just instantly sold me on it. I'm really, really keen to give this a go. This kind of feels like it scratches the same itch as Tiny Towns or something like that,
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you had me at Tiny Town. So
yeah, I'm not saying it's Tiny Towns, but it's that same, try to squeeze a lot of gameplay into a tiny, tiny, tight little grid that you're playing to with engine building and all that. I'm very excited for Terra Futura. All right.
Awesome.
So we're
All
going
right,
on
that's
to your number
9.
8.
Yes, my
That
number
was my
8.
number 9.
Kingdomino Origins.
Really?
Friend.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
This actually surprised I surprised myself, Rahdo. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I saw this. I was like, okay, yeah, another King Domino, cool. I love the original. My family loves the original. I played Queen Domino. I played the Age of Giants expansion for King Domino. I like them, but I didn't love them. And there's just something to me very appealing about that whole drafting system. You draft your little
It's an excellent
domino
system.
tiles and add them. But spoiler alert, I just got to play this on the Dice Tower Autumn Spectacular, friends. And
Oh, really?
it was fantastic. Yes, it was fantastic.
You must have played that today, because I haven't
did-
seen anything they're doing today.
I literally just played it about an hour and a half ago.
Wait a minute, did you
And
literally just call an audible? Did you originally have another?
No,
And this has pushed its way
I
in?
swear. This was on the list last night, and then we played it today. So I did know we were going to play it today, but it was still on my list anyways, because here's what is really interesting. So you can see the picture here. If you see the tiles, notice, folks, there are little resources on your King Domino tile.
Yes, there are.
And
cute little woolly mammoths and such.
Yes, woolly mammoths. There's fish. There's a spear head, and there's also, I don't know if you can't see it here, but there are also tribe members as well. So this takes the thing I love about Cascadia, where you have like a
my
dual
gosh
draft almost. Yes, right.
Yeah.
And it has like you're gonna add resources on the tiles, but you can spend those resources to get scoring tiles, such as the people, or you can take little extra little tiles that you place them. And if you're surrounded by those resources, you get like a couple of points per resource. There's a fire mechanism that if you put a volcano on, it spews a little fire token, and those fire tokens, you add those to other tiles that have fire tokens, and that'll double, triple, quadruple, etc. your points. It is wonderful. And
it's weird. I saw this, and for some
Uh-huh.
reason I had in my mind this was actually going to be a lighter version of King Domino, more gateway, but I was entirely wrong. It's the other direction.
It is totally the other direction. I played with.
Would you say that King Domino with Origins has moved out of the this is a gateway game you could play with anybody? Has it gotten it's more gamer geek game now?
Yes, absolutely. And here's the thing: it's in 3 modules, so you can add like just the volcano, or you can just add the resources. So all 3 of those things I think are nice little additions. So maybe make a gateway plus. I played with Z Garcia and Mike Delicio. We played with all 3 of them packed in there, and it was an awesome experience. I loved it. Yeah, it was so good.
I'm embarrassed. I stayed up till 2:00 last night, and I just completely skipped this one. I should have known this myself going in, so I've been properly schooled. That's really exciting. Chat is asking, can this be mixed with the original? It doesn't sound like it's a completely standalone game.
It is a standalone game. Yeah, that is a great question. Yeah, it is a standalone, and I almost just sort of brushed it aside because I wasn't the biggest fan of Queen Domino or the Age of Giants expansion of King Domino. This one does everything I love about King Domino, just adds this other layer to the strategy, and it is absolutely wonderful. That's why it's my number 8, Kingdomino Origins.
Wow, cool, excellent. Well, okay, we will move on to my number 7, which I'm feeling like I should actually have secretly typed it to you ahead of time, so you could have already been searching because your web browsing is slow. But that's okay.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll whisper it to you. You already know it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Continuing with this Dice Tower crossover thing.
Wow.
Golem, which is my number 7 from Cranio Creations, Ruel played 2 days ago during the live broadcast. I'm very insanely jealous because I've been excited about this. This game would have been in my top 10 most anticipated games that I do on January 1st every year. It just had not been announced as a 2021 game at the time. It got announced like 3 days later, and everybody said, "Rahdo, what about Golem? What about Golem?" I'm like, they didn't put it on Board Game Geek in time. But I am super excited for it. It's a design super team. The main one being Simone Luciani, right? And I know I've heard he's teaming up with 1 or 2 other designers. But here's the deal. When I saw I knew this was going to be on my list. I'm like, okay, now I got to do some research so I can talk smartly about this game. But then I realized, I don't have to. Ruel can tell us about it because Ruel's actually played this thing.
It it is wonderful. It's everything you like about Luciani's designs. It's got
Mhm.
a ton of different levers that you want to pull, and you're trying to figure out the best way to make things happen. It's got this really interesting thing with the marble system, where I mean, I looked
Yes,
at it, I
a
was like,
marble
wait, what is
track
this?
thing, yeah.
Potion explosion? Yeah. But
Yes.
those each marble, you just randomly drop it in the little. It's called the synagogue, and they come out in the little trays. I'm trying to find a picture of it here. And then it comes out in little trays, and each
There
one of
you go.
those is associated
You're
with
on the
an
left.
action.
You've got one.
Okay, there it is. And each one has an associated action. And what you're trying to do is you take a marble out, and depending on how many marbles are there, that's the strength of the action you get. So I can take, like, say, 3 resources. But then on top of that, if you take a particular color, you could move up a player track, one of your tracks here in your neighborhoods. So if I took the yellow, then my student in the yellow will move up a track. Because your students, you're trying to control your golems, I believe is the pronunciation. I keep wanting to say golem, but I think we
Officially,
settled on golem.
I believe
right?
people have called me out on this in the past that I say golem instead of
Okay.
golem, and because
Okay.
occasionally I cover games that have golems in them, and I've looked it up. Both are now accepted. Language
both are
changes,
accepted.
it evolves. Golem is the original, but I found several dictionaries that say, oh, an acceptable alternate pronunciation is golem. So
Okay.
we can
Okay. Fair
all
enough.
my precious it now if we like,
My precious,
without fear
yeah.
of reprisal. Although you will still get reprisal.
Great, thanks. So this game is it's for me. It was interesting, and this is the very first game I played here during the Autumn Spectacular. So I was still on West Coast time. I flew in Friday night, or no, I mean Sunday night, and I woke up at 5 a.m. or about 6 a.m. Monday morning to get ready to go to the show. So that's actually my 3 a.m. And then we played the game at 8 a.m. I think, which is my 5 a.m. So to jump right into this first thing in the morning, it was a bit of a challenge, but the game itself is, the game is, I got crushed, but it was a wonderful game. Everything you like about Luciani designs are here. There are a lot of different tracks going on. You got different resources to manage, and you have a bunch of different ways to score. There's multipliers. You're going to get multipliers depending on which little menorahs you turn over as you go along the track. And you've got to feed those golems. You got to feed them knowledge. If you don't have enough knowledge, they're going to wreak havoc. And in the case of this game, it's losing victory points. So a lot of things going on here. I think you're going to love this game, Rahdo.
Oh, I know I'm going to. I've been excited about this forever. Like I said, I'm genuinely jealous. When I saw that's one of the games you were playing, although Kingdomino Origins sounds pretty cool too. Wow. Actually, the chat is now talking about your game you played with them. Apparently, Chris had a super move or something like that.
He took this turn that I think it took like 35 minutes to complete. It was amazing. He he did a wonderful job of just comboing all this stuff, and that's a hallmark of those type of games, right? Just making things go around and around. So that is
cool.
That
my
is
number 7.
Yeah,
I'm making you do all the work today. You had to talk about
Yes.
number 8, number 7, and now you can talk about your number 6.
Okay, my number 6, and you know what, Rahdo, while I'm doing my number 6, if you want to go in our private chat here on the thing here and let me know what your next one is, I can get that.
That's a good idea.
Right? So that's
All
what
right,
private chat is for. Now my number, what is it, number 6? Is it? I lost track of what we're, let's see, 9, 10, 9. Okay, the next one on my list, how about that?
There
is, okay. Oh man, nothing like live stream on the road, friends. It's always an adventure.
No, you were talking to me about how being on the road completely knocks you out. So the fact that you are still bringing your A game when I'm sure you must be beyond exhausted is incredible.
It's a feeling I get when when you go to a convention and you're having so much fun playing games and stuff, but you know that you're tired, you're hungry, you're sleepy, but you still continue doing it because it's so much fun. That's the feeling that I get right now. But totally worth it. As the kids would say, 12 out of 10 would do it again. The game that I want to talk about next is Picture Perfect from Arcane Wonders.
From Arcane Wonders, yes.
Yes. Okay. It just sort of happened to be, it was so intriguing to me. The reason why this one got me straight up on the theme. Let me put the picture up here.
Yeah, you might want to share it after you did all that stuff to make sure it would be on screen, and then you didn't put it on screen.
Yeah, here it is. Picture Perfect. How do you describe this game? You're trying to take a picture of all these people, and they all have different wants and needs. They want to go. Someone wants to sit next to the table. Someone wants to sit behind so and so. Someone doesn't want to be blocked by a plate of food, and so forth. It's a puzzly type. I don't know if you call it a tile layer almost, but this got to me. It really reminded me of those really interesting themes that Sashi and Sashi do, such as like Remember Our Trip, Wind the Film. Just for whatever, maybe because it's a picture game. It just reminded me of that type of theme, and I'm always drawn to these unique themes. I've never seen a theme like this where you're trying to get people to line up in the perfect spots for their picture. And this one, you have limited information, so you know that you're going to get cards dealt out to everyone. And each person has like some limited information, like, oh, so and so wants to be next to so and so, or hey, this character wants to be on this side of the table, or whatever. And then you're going to eventually, auction off the chance to learn more information about what other players have and where other players want to go. And then eventually you're going to set up your characters, lift the shield up, and then see who is picture perfect and score points based on how correct you are for each player's needs. You have any thoughts on these, Rahdo? Were you able to play this? I know it's been
no. I'm looking forward to it. Our regular sponsor of the show, Arcane Wonders, is going to be sending out a copy, and we will actually be giving away a copy of this in a future contest. I've heard really good things about it. I'm most interested in the fact that after apparently there's a quasi-optional element where you can literally use your smartphone to take a picture of your final thing. And that's somehow used in scoring. But as I understand it, it's not required. It's just like a cool extra flourish you can do. I'm not quite sure how that works.
Yeah,
I'm really keen to try it out because I always love when digital stuff comes into our board game hobby, I have to say.
Yeah. The picture thing sounds really neat. Just you basically take not a selfie, but a group photo of your little board, and you can share it and stuff. It's really neat. So that is a picture perfect, friends. That's from
Arcane Wonders. It occurs to me. I'm wondering if for the first time I should share my screen and try to be putting images on screen because
you know what?
I am not struggling with behind enemy lines Wi-Fi usage.
I think that's a great idea. Let's do that. So I'll take this one off, and then
right. So I just shared my number 5, which hopefully will show up. Yes, it did. My number 5 is Gutenberg.
Beautiful.
From Grana Games. And I am very, very excited about this. I've been a big fan of Grana for quite a while. Their stuff is always really lovely and smart. I mean, ever since I played CV a million years ago. But this game is all about, Gutenberg and, the birth of the printing press and how it fundamentally changed the world for people all over the place by, spreading, democratizing the human word, which is amazing to me. And so I love the theme. I love the presentation. It looks really great. Can folks see it? I am successfully sharing a screen. We have not done this before. There. Okay, cool. And what sunk it for me was when I was looking at it last night and I realized it's a simultaneous action selection mechanism, which is one of my favorite mechanisms of all time. Let me see if there's a picture that shows that. Because apparently every round players are, here we go. Players are making decisions about what they're going to do behind screens as they put more and more of these cubes, which I assume either means ink for your printing or, your employees at your printing press or whatever, to put them into different actions. And everybody reveals at the same time. And like Fresco or like Dungeon Pets, I imagine there will be screams of, no, why did you do that? I thought I was going to do that best, this kind of thing this round. And, and then on top of that, I don't think it's like Zolkin in the same way, but it does have turning gears that interlock and actually turn like Zolkin, which is one of my wife's favorite games of all time, in large part because of those intermeshed gears. And everybody gets their own little gears. Hopefully they will get turned a little bit more often than they do in Zolkin. It looks great. I expect, based on the pedigree, there's going to be a lot of fun. And it is my number 5, Gutenberg.
Wow. Yeah, I love the theme. I think that's such a cool theme. And you get those interlocking gears. I'm all over that as well. All right.
And hey, guess what?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You know what I said halfway through that description was how it brought the written word to the people. Our secret word today, folks, is people. Yay!
You have tied it all up. Well done. Well done, Rahdo. Well done. There is
you didn't even hear it.
I didn't even hear it. And here's why I didn't hear it. I was planning to say people in my next one. So you beat me to the punch today.
Yep.
Well done.
There's layers to this game. You got to find the perfect way of doing it. You got to be
Oh my-
because that's the thing. A couple weeks ago, Ruel did one that was so obvious. I immediately caught it. So you have to be really smooth. You have to be listening, but you have to be preparing. But yeah, the secret word is people. And now to remind folks, what you need to do is send an email to contest@rahdo.com. or contests, one or the other, your choice. The subject of the email has to have the word people in it so that my mail filter will catch it, put it in a directory so that a week from now, we will hopefully draw your name from the big wheel of names and you will win a copy of Korra, Rise of an Empire. Because, hey, it's all about the ancient world and helping the people, rise in their empire, hence the secret word people.
Now you're just rubbing it in.
Yes, I know. I'm so great. Yay, me.
Well done.
So,
5-5. We are tied up. Yes, there it is. Secret word, folks. People. Send that to contest@rahdo.com. And let's continue with the show.
Right.
You know what, Rahdo? I'll have you type in the name of my
let's do it. What was your that was my number 5, right? So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Garden Nation. Garden Nation.
Garden Nation. Boop.
Yeah.
Look at it go. Just zip, zoom.
Zip,
all right.
Zip, zoom. Oh, and I guess I should add it, or I should show it, actually, all the magical things that you're doing. Garden Nation, friends,
maybe.
is... you got 4 clans, and I was going to say you've got 4 groups of people to
nice try, pal.
Yeah, it's
too
too
little,
late
too
now.
late.
Too little, too late.
Move on. The people train is gone.
You're constructing buildings by rearranging coffee pots, bird feeders to complete projects. And what's neat about this that caught my eye right off the bat is that you are actually building buildings. They're like these, it's a 3D dimension. It's a 3D building that you're putting on the board, and they will go up floor by floor as you continue the game. It's an area majority game, so this may not be for everyone. So you are trying to, spread your clans out. What are your clan of people out there versus another clan, and take over. I was immediately drawn to the buildings, and plus just the look of this art. I really think it's really nice. It's wonderful art.
It's great looking.
Yeah, isn't this nice? It's got, because you could, this type of game, you could totally make it like very in your face, rah 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 or whatever, but fighty, stabby. But this one looks a little more peaceful in my opinion, which I think is interesting. Also, there's another thing that got me is the first player will take their turn and they get 1 action. But then after their turn, they get to actually choose who gets to go next. And then that player gets to choose who goes after them. So it's a really interesting mechanism. And the players who go last, they get an extra action, I believe. And at the end of the game, you're going to score based on what you've constructed, what majorities you have, and also the number of inhabitants. And again, the number of people that you have is where you're going to get points. So that is a Garden Nation.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Love it. So let's move on then to that was your all right. So sorry, I'm not used to having to run the show. I'm totally freaking out. All right.
No, that was my number 4.
I need to come back over to this tab. I mean, all the stuff that you just do silently that people don't know. Suddenly I'm just in the thick of it. My number 3 is mobile markets.
Oh.
A smartphone Inc. game. Smartphone Inc., if you haven't played it, is one of the best business simulation Euro style games to have come out in recent years. It's absolutely excellent. Absolutely loved it. I recently covered the Upgrade 1.1 expansion, which added a bunch of extra stuff, including, thankfully, a board that shrunk the world down, because if there was one problem with the original Smartphone Inc., it was there was not much player scaling and the world was a bit too big, so there wasn't a lot of tension and whatnot. They are now scaling it down even more, taking the board away and making this a game all about, trying to be the most successful line of what do you call them? Mobile phones in the world. And what's important, let's see if they show it in any of these pictures. Yeah, they keep the beating heart of this game, which has always been the way it works. I don't know if you've played. Have you played Smartphone Inc.?
I have not, unfortunately. A copy is on its way, from what I understand.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you will enjoy it, because every round, the way you determine what actions you're going to do, if you see, I assume you can see over here on the right side of the screen, because I don't know what I'm looking at now. There we go. Yeah. At the beginning of every round, you have these 2 action boards that have a bunch of icons on them, and you stack them and layer them with each other to create a combination of icons that represent what you want to do this round, whether you're going to invest in R&D or do marketing or do production or sales and all that. And that core puzzle, this like tile stacking puzzle, and over the course of the game you get more tile pieces, so that can get a little bit more complex, has always been awesome. And it's interesting, the new tiles that come for mobile markets, they look like they're a little bit more complex because they've got this little hole in them, basically, which I'm not quite sure what that is about. But I am very, very excited because mobile markets is a big game. It's a long game, one that will play in a fraction of the time with a fraction of the table space, making it easier to get to the table. Makes me very, very excited. It's still, I just wanted to check, a 1 to 4 player game, so I don't think it's necessarily going to compromise on gameplay. But yeah, I cannot wait to see the next iteration. I mean, because again, Smartphone Inc. is brilliant, so I expect big things for my number 3 mobile markets.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. First, I'm looking forward to playing in Smartphone Inc. But then this one, I've heard, like you said, I've heard so many good things about Smartphone Inc. that I cannot wait to play it as well. All right.
Yeah,
so
here's an interesting, one more interesting crossover with the Dice Tower Autumn Spectacular having to do with smartphone. I am so excited about mobile markets that I donated my copy of Smartphone Inc. to the Dice Tower West Convention Library.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
That is what I do with I don't have enough shelf space for everything. I've got to let stuff go eventually. And these days I make them all go down to Vegas so that they can continue to be played and loved at the Dice Tower West convention.
Very generous of you, sir.
Yes.
Very generous. Okay. Let's move on to my number 2, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yes. I need to get back to the tab. I am ready to type.
Almanac, the Crystal Peaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
Good choice.
Yeah. I have not played the first in the series. The first in the series was Almanac, the Dragon Road. This is the second in the line. So this is the Crystal Peaks. And the reason why I'm excited about this is because of 2 words, Scott Almes. I'm a fan of his designs, his games. He's best known for the Tiny Epic series. He's also done a bigger game called, actually it's a huge game, a 4X game called Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. But I'm not familiar with this world, but it looks really interesting because it's got a worker placement mechanism that changes, apparently, depending on which location you go to.
Yes, it does.
So, right. So did you play the original?
Yes, this is the sequel.
The Dragon Road?
The previous one. In fact, you know what the heck? I could actually just go to Rahdo. Almanac. Let me see if I can actually pull up my run through of the original. And let's see.
That'd be
I'm just going completely off script now. Hopefully this won't all explode. Are you looking at my video of it?
Yep. Oh, there it is.
So this is the Dragon Road. Here's the deal. It is a worker placement storybook game where you start the game. You're going to go on an adventure. You're going to travel all around the world because we're traveling merchants. And you're placing your workers on the board, which is on the right side of the gatefold, and on the left side is the special rules for this page. And every page of this book is a radically different form of worker placement. Worker placement that feels like it's out of Agricola. Worker placement that feels like it's out of, if I recall correctly, the original book had like 8 pages, 8 completely different worker placement games. And what happens is you come to this page, you're going to play on this page for 1 round of your workers. And then depending on what choices you made on this page as you were playing, that will end up sending you to another page. Like this Razor Peak Canyon, which I just ran away from. You're getting to see a bunch of different ones. They all function very, very differently. This one is like Targi. I remember that was our favorite one, the Targi-based one. One is like Gizia. So they all have different functional games, and every time you play, you're going to play a different combination of worker placement mini games depending on how the story evolves that everybody's playing through. It's super cool, really high concept that works wonderfully.
Right. And so this second one in this series, the Crystal Peaks, apparently you can mix and match as well. So you'll be able to use this with the Dragon Road. And that's why I was excited about this. Just this whole, I've never seen this because I hadn't played the original, the whole worker placement, storybook game. I think that's such a cool idea. So now I'm even more excited. And it's got some pick up and deliver as well, correct?
Well, I mean, in what I played, ostensibly, thematically there was, but it was mostly
Okay.
really a worker placement game. It's just that sometimes I think they could call it pick up and deliver because the stuff you collect on one page, you'll pick that stuff up, and then when you go to the next page, you'll use it. So it's kind of picking up and delivering.
Okay,
but
cool,
not in the
cool,
traditional
cool.
way. But it's
All right.
it's so cool, and I'm so I mean, it must have been successful if it's getting a sequel. And I did not know that you'd be able to jump from one book to another. That's super cool.
Yeah. So that's my number 2 Almanac, the Crystal Peaks. The Crystal Peaks.
Excellent.
Almanac. Yeah, so Scott Holmes. That's my number 2. Rahdo, it's all you now. Let's go to this screen.
Well, my
here.
number one.
Your number 1. Yeah, let's find out what your number 1 is.
My number 1,
again,
it should come as no surprise to anyone. If you know me, if you know my show, it's the latest from Alexander Pfister, Boonlake. I love me some Mr. Pfister. Cannot get enough of the man. And this is his latest big box, super heavy, dense Euro with lots of really cool gameplay mechanisms and all of that. I would imagine, I should have, when I was staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, read through the rulebook, because the rulebook is available online. I should have checked to see if it does what I love most that he does. He always brings storytelling elements, so you can like play these little mini campaigns where the game changes in subtle ways as you go through a story. But even if he doesn't do that, although I love it, I wish more Euro designers and publishers would do it. Just knowing the latest thing from him is coming. It features, from what I did see, a very cool new action selection mechanism that has to do with this board over to the side. It's kind of like a programming game.
Sorry, can you share the screen? Am I looking at the wrong
Am I not
screen
sharing the screen this whole time?
Maybe.
What happened?
No worries. I don't know what happened here.
All right. It says it's shared.
Okay, maybe
but it stopped. All right, I will stop sharing the screen, and then I will share it again. It just looks like it froze.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I was showing all those pictures for nothing. All right, there we go. Boom. Is it shared?
Okay. Let's add it and put it back on screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. Yeah. So this is Boonlake. It's a good thing you had me show, because I was just about to point to the action selection mechanism. Has to do with players drafting these action tiles that have a series of actions on them, and then you put them in a queue on your own board. So it's like you're setting yourself up to play a specific set of actions based on these tiles. But unlike a regular programming game where these are the 3 actions we're going to do this turn, and I play them out. You are trying to draft to get specific action patterns, action sequences you want to do, and then they stack up in a queue. Let's see. I don't know if they stack up in a queue on your own board, or that sideboard is what you're drafting from. I think that's what it is. And some of them are more expensive than others, but you're not just like in a regular drafting game. I'm going to draft 1 card to add to my deck, or I'm going to draft 1 action like Puerto Rico or something like that, where this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually drafting a suite of actions that I must do in order. And that sounds to me like a very, very cool thing, which is why I'm very excited about my number 1 most anticipated game. If I were in Essen, Germany next week, I would not leave without a copy of Boonlake.
Nice.
Whew. Okay.
Woo! We did it. Well done. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sweating. I had to do all that extra work. It was in my writer when we started this channel. I will do all of the clicking and the punching and the sharing and all of that.
Yeah. There was nothing in there that said I was going to be on the road doing things from Florida. Oh my goodness! So I want to thank Rahdo for being able to bend the terms of our agreement slightly today. We've got a few more minutes here. Why don't we
let's do some Q&A. I've got a question for you. While folks, if you have any questions, by all means, let's hit them. But my question is, how's it going out there? Tell me everything. Tell me the story. Story time with Ruel.
Story time, folks. It's going well. It's actually been absolutely fantastic. Folks, if you don't know, I am here in Florida at the Dice Tower headquarters studio. I came here on Sunday night. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'm here for the 3 days of the Autumn Spectacular. So it is, we're playing and live streaming a bunch of games, new games, giving them away as well, just like we do here on the R&R show. So tune into the Dice Tower as they're going live. We've still got a ton of games to play tonight. We're giving them a bunch away. The experience has been fantastic. It's really neat to see like the inner work, the behind the scenes stuff here. getting to hang out with Tom and the entire crew. Chris, Z, and Sam Healy he came down too as well. He's been here every day, and we've been just hanging out, playing games, and enjoying each other's company, getting to know each other as well, which is really neat. We've enjoyed breakfast, lunch, and breakfast and lunches together, which has been really nice. I just had one of the greatest fruit shakes I've ever had in my life. There's a place here. It's got the funniest name. It's called Robert is Here. And it's this like little fruit market stand, almost like a farmer's market with a petting zoo, all kinds of random, like cool little touristy things. But the shakes are phenomenal. I just had a dragon fruit and blueberry shake that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. It was absolutely wonderful. But as far as games go, we played a lot of great games. I've been playing, I think, 3 to 4 games every day, live streaming here. I talked about the Kingdomino Origins that I played this morning. We played Golem the first thing when I showed up, and played all kinds of great stuff. Stephen Bonacore was here the other day too. I played Alien Fate of Nostromo.
How did you like it? Didn't you put that on one of your lists on a recent R&R?
I did. I was really excited about it because of the IP, and the game itself was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I felt like it was very similar to Horrified, but I think I do prefer Horrified more. This one, it was good, just not great. But I did enjoy it. We lost, so maybe that was part of it. We lost it as a cooperative game. We lost, so I don't know. But yeah, it's been a great experience. It's been so much fun, and I talked about this last time, where the road trip I took last time, it was a 10-day road trip. This one's only about 4 days, and this is more my jam. Yeah, in and out, do business, and have fun at the same time. But I always miss sleeping in my own bed. It's I don't sleep well on the road, so I am running on fumes. But it's been a ton of fun. But anyways, that's enough about my trip.
A question from chat. Although because I have more questions.
Okay,
but let's see. Phil wants to know: will either of us be making it to Board Game Geek Con this year? I don't know about you, but Jen and I will be at Board Game Geek Con in Dallas, which is in I forget, it's either the second to last month or late week or the last week of November. We'll be having a great time. Jen will have a booth where she is selling her gamer glass,
nice.
which she always does really great at. And I will be basically sitting at her booth at a table playing games with anybody who just wants to walk by and play a game if I'm not already in the middle of a game. That's pretty much what I do when I go to these things. I will be honest, I am kind of a attraction mechanism to get people to say, "Oh, look, it's Rahdo. Oh, what's all this stuff?"
Yes.
Jen and I, we work. It's a co-op game for us going to board game convention. Nice. So we'll be there. Will you be there?
I had not planned on it, but if I know you're going to be there, maybe I can pull some strings and get out there. Let me see what we can do, because I would love to.
Awesome if you could. We could do an R&R show from there.
I would love to do that. So we shall see. So stay tuned, friends. Any other questions? Let's see what else we got here.
Let's see. Ivan Lashin, the designer of Mobile Markets, jumped in to say, if you're at all intrigued by the pitch I just gave, you can play it right now with an official mod on Tabletop Simulator. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
And that's the proper use of Tabletop Simulator. Official mods backed by the publishers. No piracy. But anyway.
No piracy, folks. That's right. Monica asks, have you ever gotten back home from an event with a game that you didn't know was in your luggage? Oh, I don't know if I've had that. Have you had that experience?
I'm pretty sure that has. I mean, back when I lived in Europe, we went to Essen Spiel every year, and we tried to squeeze as much stuff as possible into. We would actually pay extra for storage, and we wouldn't take extra luggage. We would take gigantic moving boxes that were like triple walled, stuff them full of games, and tape them up to heaven and back and throw them onto the plane. And there were a few times where did this come from? How did this get in here? I have no idea. That has definitely happened to me in the past.
Ah, nice. Kabuki Kid asked, Rua, have you had key lime pie yet? No, I have not had it out here yet. The place that I was just talking about with the fruit shakes, they do have key lime pie there, but I went with the shake, and I have no regrets about that shake. It was one of the best shakes of my life.
Okay, we're going to put audience questions on hold for a second, because I have another question. How are you having all this pie and all these shakes and all your stream snacks? For folks who don't know, Ruel does a regular show with his family on Twitch, the Goa, and you're always eating. How are you so freaking slim? What is your secret?
You know what it is.
Is it just the beard? Is that it?
It is. It's the magic of Hollywood, my friend. No, you know what? It's I love to eat, but I don't eat the portions I eat nowadays are a lot smaller than when I was a younger man. So I try to offset. Like I do love to try new foods and try different things. That being said, I did have like the regular size shake. Normally I would take like the small size, but I took the regular because
when in Florida, do as the Floridians.
Yeah, one in Florida, take the bigger size shake.
Yep.
But yeah, I'd like to say I burn a bunch of calories playing games, but that's probably not it. I used to be in much better shape actually, and that's probably something I need to look back into as I get older. Getting back a little more on the treadmill these days. I need to do that. But yeah, there's no secret, my friend. I was very lucky, I guess, born with the right genes or whatever.
All right, excellent. Let's see.
Okay.
T McD asks me, how is the new it's right behind me. Pandemic Wrath of the Lich King or Pandemic World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King. Actually, no, it's called World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, a pandemic system game is the actual official title of this. And Jen, I just played it the first time the other day. We're obviously huge Pandemic fans, and this was a very, very cool tweak. It does some really interesting stuff. It's definitely, I would say, the second lightest edition of Pandemic. It's in the same realm as the Reign of Cthulhu game. In that, it's all about a bunch of monsters walking around the board. There is dice rolling to fight stuff, and I think it works very well. I think it's perfect for the audience it's targeted at. People who love World of Warcraft or other MMOs or just, fantasy video games in general will be drawn in. They will get a simplified, streamlined version of the Pandemic formula. It does some cool, interesting stuff and hopefully be converted. And so I think it achieves that goal brilliantly.
Nice.
To answer your question.
Cool. Monica asks, question, best Viking game. I'll answer this one real quickly because I had the best experience yesterday. I was very fortunate to play Blood Rage with Sam Healy, Z Garcia, and Roy Kennedy. And if you know Sam, that is his all-time favorite game, and I've always wanted to play that game with him. I got to do it yesterday. That's my favorite Viking game, Blood Rage from Eric Lang, and it's probably I shared this story yesterday. It's one of the more like complex games that I got that I first played in the hobby. Up until then, I've been playing Gateway Plus. Blood Rage was like the one that showed me, hey, it sort of opened my eyes, like, hey, you can have this complex game and still be done in like 90 minutes. And I loved it. I still love it to this day. And being able to play with Sam was an honor. And unfortunately, I lost, but it was a lot of fun.
Well, if you're going to lose,
right,
you should losing to Sam Healy. There's no shame in that. I'm sure it was an honorable death. Quite frankly,
it was an honorable death. I was in Valhalla, did my thing, got my points. What about you? Favorite Viking game?
Oh, easily. It's literally called Vikings. It's an older Euro from I want to say Michael Kiesling. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And it's very Euro-y. It's a tile drafting game that has this really cool method of drafting tiles that has to do with this spinning wheel that all the tiles are on, and then you're taking the tiles. Basically, we're not doing the pillaging or any of that kind of stuff. We're the exploring type Vikings, and it kind of glosses over what they do when they get where they're exploring to. But that's okay. Yeah. But it is all about grabbing these tiles in a very, very cool, really innovative, and I've never seen anything quite like it. Tile drafting system, and then a very cool tile laying system where you are trying to build bigger and longer islands to score lots of points to represent everything that you have conquered. And yeah, I still think it's fantastic. It was one of my early gateway style games, and I've still kept my copy all the 9-10 years later. I highly recommend Vikings.
Very cool. Jen Wei asks, do you do any Rahdo, do you do any of those live marathon playthroughs at all?
No. I did one many years ago. I was on an old Dice Tower marathon back, it must have been like 5 years ago. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And it was back when they were still filming in Tom's the fourth bedroom of his own personal house. And it was just absolutely ridiculous. Everybody squeezed into a master bedroom of all tied around. There were 6 of us, Jason Levine, Sam, because Sam was still there at the time, me, Z, everybody. And I forget, we played 4 or 5 games. You can still find that on the Dice Tower. It was a good old time. I would happily do it again someday because I had a great time. But honestly, I don't seek that kind of stuff out because the game is never as much fun if I'm not playing it with Jen, quite frankly. I'm sure you feel the same way about
Oh.
Michelle when it boils right down to it. And so
I do.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to do stuff like that, but I always want to get home and play more games with Jen.
Yep. We're definitely similar in that aspect. You know, there's no place like home, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
Let's see. On the other, we got another minute or two. Stacy Everdale says, "Wow, no mentions of Raiders of the North Sea. I love Raiders of the North Sea." Let's raise Rahdo, by not going to Essen. This is from Wooter VDB. Rahdo, by not going to Essen anymore, do you feel like you're missing out on the Euro hotness nowadays?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Having moved back to the States, no longer being in Malta, where it was just a quick little 2-hour flight, just one-way direct there and back, was awesome. I had a friend in nearby Dusseldorf who we would just stayed at his place every year, and he was a diehard board gamer, so we would just drive back and forth. He got a free parking pass because, as a member of the press, I got super parking in the underground and all that. So he benefited, we benefited, we had a great time, and yeah, I mean, I loved going there. I mean, it was basically every year 4 days of me just nonstop. If people could see me literally running through the halls, just trying to collect every game I could, so I could take them back to Malta and play them over the ensuing months. I mean, honestly, a big part of my early success on the channel, going back 8 years ago, probably, was that, at the time, I was one of the only YouTubers covering board games who actually went to Essen Spiel. And I picked up an advanced copy of there at Zolkin, the Mayan calendar. And I had the first video out. And that really catapulted me in the early days. And so, yeah, there's no choice about it. I totally miss it now. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to pick up some stuff at the Board Game Geek convention in Dallas, because publishers will be showing up there, and hopefully I can get some through the mail. I mean, I talked right up front about 4 games that have shown up in the mail, but yeah, I really miss it because there are so many games. I mean, Terra Futura. I'm super excited about that. You better believe I would get it if I was there, but that's not going to show up on my doorstep anytime soon. So, and there's always, every year, there's going to be some cool little things I didn't hear about, but wow, that looks really cool. And I talk to them and I end up picking that up as well. So yes, thanks Wooter for bumming me out that I'm not going. Someday we will get back there.
One of these days, yeah, and that's on my bucket list too. That's the one place I really want to go to, and the one convention I want.
We got to go together. We got to do the show
yeah,
there.
Absolutely.
These days they have amazing live streaming. They've got these booths set up that press members can rent time. We could totally do an R&R show.
Awesome,
that'd be amazing.
Cool. And speaking of R&R, folks, we're just about out of time. But I do want to remind you can find all the R&R episodes at rnrrahdo.com. Go check that out. That'll take you to all of the episodes we've filmed in the past and the latest one as well. But that's going to do it for us for right now. I want to thank Rahdo for helping me make this happen. I want to thank Tom and the crew at the Dice Tower for making this happen. Like we said, we didn't know if it was really going to be a thing, but we made it a thing thanks to the wonders of the internet and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, big shout out to everybody down there. Like I said, I mean, the Dice Tower is the unofficial sponsor of this episode. This episode is this is basically corner to corner. It was named because I was filming with some person on the other side. Everybody thought it's because I was filming with Tom. No, it's just I was filming with somebody on the other corner of this country. So a special bonus episode of C2C. Tell everybody once again, thanks. I'm sure I'm sure Roy or Mike or somebody was helping you set up in the room, because you just jumped right from live streaming to rushing over to this room, setting up frantically as quick as you could. They made it possible. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah. A big shout out to Chris Yee for doing that. Like
Chris,
I got off. Chris, right after I got out of there, I came in here and everything was set up, good to go. So thank you, Chris. And Rahdo, you want to take us out?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks once again to our unofficial sponsor, the Dice Tower. We're done now, folks. You can go back to our previously scheduled Autumn Spectacular, and later on today, you'll be able to see some more of Ruel playing 2 excellent games. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.